With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu. At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Nicole Byer, helping you make those rooms flyer. Today's style tip: when it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild! Like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Ooh, fierce! This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Okay, let's dive in. WrestleMania 41. Wow. The amount of chatter online. You sent over that list of search terms?
Yeah, WrestleMania 41 results, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, where to watch. It's all over the place.
It really paints a picture, doesn't it? A wrestling world just buzzing after those 2 nights at Allegiant Stadium in Vegas.
Totally. It's like this collective holding of breath and then boom, this explosion of talk, analysis, opinions, everything.
Exactly. And that's our mission today, right? To cut through all that noise, all those hour words of combo and pull out what really matters.
The significant moments, the big takeaways from this huge event.
Because it's more than just results. You see names like Rollins, Punk. It's the stories, the personalities too.
Right. WrestleMania is this huge cultural thing now. People watch, they experience it, and then they just have to talk about it, dissect it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So we've got this snapshot of the discourse, the wins, the losses, the big stars, even just the practical stuff like how to watch.
But we're going deeper than just a list of winners.
Yeah, much deeper. We want to unpack why these results caused such a stir, the emotional journeys that played out, what it all means for WWE going forward.
Kind of a guide through the aftermath, making sense of all the takes flying around.
So as we sift through this, what are the big themes? What narratives really grabbed people from those 2 nights and fueled all this discussion?
That's the key question, isn't it? Let's start with night 1.
Night 1 in Vegas, setting the tone in Sin City. Allegiant Stadium, all decked out with that Vegas theme. Must have looked incredible.
Yeah, the stage design always adds to the spectacle.
So you know how vital that opening match is? He has to grab you, set the energy for the whole weekend. Kind of dictates the early buzz.
Absolutely. It sets the tone. The sources say the opener was insert match and winner here placeholder.
Okay, so that choice, that winner. WWE clearly wanted to make a statement right out of the gate. Give someone momentum.
Exactly. That win becomes an immediate talking point. Maybe signals bigger plans. And the style of the match, too fast-paced, hard-hitting, that shapes expectations.
Okay, let's get into the championships. Night 1 was loaded. World Heavyweight title. Gunther defending against Jey Uso.
Oh, yeah, the emotional weight on that one was huge. Jey Uso winning the Rumble, his shot at the big one.
And the styles. Gunther, the ring general, just brutal and methodical.
Versus main event Trajine, riding that wave of crowd support, pure emotion. That contrast alone is fascinating.
So the big question everyone was asking, and then debating after, did Jey finally do it? Did he capture the title?
Right. Or did Gunther's dominance continue? How were those near falls? You know those moments get replayed and analyzed like crazy?
The outcome really sets the direction for that whole division, fuels endless debates.
Then the WWE Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton, the champ, against Charlotte Flair.
Talk about a generational clash, right? The rising star versus the queen.
Definitely bound to get people talking. Stratton's confidence against Flair's legacy.
What was the dynamic like in the ring? The psychology, the storytelling?
You'd expect Stratton trying to prove she belongs, Flair wanting to reassert her place at the top.
Was there a title change? Did we see like a passing of the torch? Or did Flair add another notch to her belt? That's prime discussion fodder.
Big time. People would be scrutinizing every interaction, how the match flowed. feeding those hours of conversation.
Then the U.S. title. L.A. Knight defending against Jacob Fatu.
Ooh, charisma versus power. LA Knight's connection with the crowd.
Yeah, factor. But Fatu brings that raw Samoan dynasty explosiveness. That's a collision course.
For sure. Could Knight's smarts and agility handle Fatu's pure force? Who came out on top?
And what does that mean for the U.S. title picture moving forward? Lots to unpack there.
Definitely. And don't forget the World Tag Team titles, the War Raiders versus the New Day.
Experience versus experience, really. War Raiders' power against New Day's, well, legendary teamwork.
Tag matches are all about strategy, those double team moves. Did the titles change hands there?
What were the key moments? Did experience win out, or was it the intensity of the War Raiders? That impacts the whole tag division.
Right. Fans love debating tag team dynamics.
Okay, moving beyond titles. Night 1 had some intense personal stuff. Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
Yeah, months of bad blood leading up to that. You expect pure physicality or raw emotion.
Who settled that score? What's next for both of them after a match like that? Those grudge matches always leave a mark.
They do. The winner gets bragging rights, a psychological edge. People talk about the intensity.
Win the mystery match. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
Ah, the masked man. Who was it? A return, someone repackaged.
That speculation must have been running wild online before and after.
Huge buzz potential. Facing Rey Mysterio, that's a massive spotlight. Was the identity revealed? And who won?
So many questions surrounding that one.
But the main event of night 1, that had to be the peak, right? Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Undisputed WWE championship.
Oh, absolutely. The history, the drama, and Paul Heyman in Punk's corner. Forget about it.
The intrigue there is off the charts. Reigns, the dominant champ. Punk, the returning icon. Rollins, the workhorse champion.
All in one ring. Strategic alliances, probably not for long. Betrayals, almost guaranteed.
And Heyman's role. Where do his loyalties really lie? People would be analyzing every glance, every word.
So, who walked out with the title? What were the big near falls? The source mentioned a shocking conclusion. What was it?
That shocking part is key. It suggests something unexpected happened that just lit up the internet immediately. Did Reigns keep the title? Did Punk win? Rollins?
The result there changes everything. Dominates all the post-show talk, for sure. Those hour-worths of convo probably spiked right then.
No doubt. And beyond the scheduled matches, any big surprises, returns, shocking turns, those are the moments that stick.
Yeah, those WrestleMania moments. Plus the Vegas crowd energy must have been insane.
Totally. That live atmosphere fuels everything, becomes part of the memory, part of the conversation.
Okay, let's pivot. Night 2, the grand finale, the culmination.
You can imagine the anticipation carrying over from night 1. Everyone wanting to see how these huge stories wrap up.
Night 2 is where the big payoffs happen, right?
Right.
But also sets up the next chapter.
Exactly. Satisfying conclusions, but also new beginnings.
And the main event?
Yeah.
The undisputed WWE Championship. Whoever won Night 1, defending against Cody Rhodes.
Cody's story. Finish the story. That's been the narrative for, what, years now?
It feels like it. The emotional investment was massive. This had to be the climax.
So did he do it? Did Cody Rhodes finally finish his story? Or did the Night 1 winner retain?
Describe the feeling. The near falls must have been agony for his fans. The result would just dominate everything.
Absolutely. That outcome is probably the biggest talking point coming out of the whole weekend.
Then the Women's World Championship.
Hey.
IYO SKY defending against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Triple threat.
Wow. 3 incredible athletes. Top of their game.
And triple threats are always unpredictable, aren't they? Alliances form, break,
Yeah.
chaos.
Exactly. Anyone could realistically walk out champion. Who emerged? How was the action? Fast-paced, I bet.
Any surprises in that one? A match with that much talent, you expect big moments.
Definitely. Winning that match means you beat the best of the best. Huge prestige.
Intercontinental Championship next. A fatal four-way. Braun Breaker, the champ, versus Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio.
Chaos is the right word. 4 guys, existing rivalries. That's a recipe for a wild match.
Who navigated the chaos? Was there a surprise winner? Any crazy high spots? How did those rivalries play out?
Fatal 4-ways always deliver memorable moments. The winner gets a big boost.
And the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defending against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria.
Good to see the women's tag division getting a spotlight. Shows its evolution.
How was the teamwork? Did the titles change hands? What were the key strategic plays?
A title change there would shake up the division, spark talk about the new champs.
Night 2 wasn't just titles, though. Grudges needed settling. Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. in a Sin City street fight.
Ooh, that sounds brutal. No holds barred.
Right. Weapons brawling all over. That got intense. Who won that fight?
Street fights are about pure aggression. The memorable spots, the brutality. That's what people talk about.
Then AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. That's an interesting one.
Very. The veteran phenomenon versus the social media megastar turned wrestler.
How did they mesh in the ring? What was the chemistry like? And the outcome?
It's a clash of styles, generations, personalities. Always intriguing. How did the fans react?
And Randy Orton's open challenge. Love those.
Always exciting. The element of surprise. Who answered the call?
And what happened? An open challenge can create a huge buzz moment out of nowhere.
For sure. A big opportunity for whoever steps up.
So like night 1, any big night 2 surprises, unexpected returns, shocking betrayals, the stuff that gets everyone talking for weeks.
Those moments often define the show's legacy.
Right.
And the overall reaction to Night 2 and WrestleMania 41 as a whole, how did it land with the fans?
That's the ultimate test, right? Does it generate positive buzz, keep people talking? Does it deliver those hour-worths of convo?
Absolutely. The lasting feeling, the fan satisfaction. That's crucial.
So looking back at the whole weekend, we know detailed results are out there, match by match. We're not listing them all.
No, but we acknowledge the sheer volume of action. 2 nights packed with moments, finishes, fodder for all this analysis.
Yeah, and you wonder, any records broken? Attendance? Viewership? Social media engagement always goes crazy for Mania.
Those numbers reflect the scale, the conversation volume.
But beyond just wins and losses, what were the defining victories? The ones that felt like they changed everything?
That's the key. Which wins were career-defining? Which ones signaled a real power shift in WWE? Those are the results that have lasting impact.
Exactly. It's not just who won, but how and what it means. Which wins felt like a coronation, the start of a new era.
And what are the ripple effects? How do these wins shape the stories we're going to see unfold now? That keeps the conversation going.
Because WrestleMania is that turning point, isn't it? Endings and beginnings all at once.
Right. Some stories conclude, but new rivalries are born, new questions arise. What's next for the Undisputed Champ? What about the losers? Any new feuds sparked?
It resets the board. Now, the source material didn't deep dive into specific performances.
No, but there were standout efforts. Matches that stole the show, wrestlers who elevated their stock.
It's always a huge part of the post-Mania discussion, right?
Yeah.
Who really delivered on the grandest stage? Whose performance generated the most buzz?
Definitely. Those performances shape future opportunities and become major talking points for the fans.
So, wrapping up our deep dive into this WrestleMania 41 aftermath, we've hit the big results, the potential significance, the storylines fueling all this talk.
Hopefully listeners have a clearer sense of why there's been, hours and hours worth of conversation swirling since Vegas.
Yeah, a better handle on the major events and why they're sparking so much debate online and everywhere else.
It makes you think about the long-term legacy, Which moments from this WrestleMania will we still be talking about years from now?
That really is the big question, isn't it? With everything that happened, what single thing from WrestleMania 41 do you think has the biggest ripple effect for the next year? What storyline are you most hooked on now?
It feels like a new chapter just started.
Absolutely. And the conversation, it's really only just getting started.
If you work as a manufacturing facilities engineer, installing a new piece of equipment can be as complex as the machinery itself. From prep work to alignment and testing, it's your team's job to put it all together. That's why it's good to have Grainger on your side. With industrial-grade products and next-day delivery, Grainger helps ensure you have everything you need close at hand through every step of the installation. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.